friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva and this is my cozy little corner of the internet, and today we are filming our weekly WIP and Chat. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and this is mine. I'm working on Makeup Routine by Mrs. Butter D. I am up here in this little corner right now, but it is sideways, so it's kind of looking more like this, but it's this corner. So that is what we're going to be working on today. I would have worked on Damaged, except that I finished that one last night, very early this morning rather. So we're going to work on this diamond painting, and we're going to chat. That's what chat stands for in the WIP and Chat. Now, today's WIP and Chat is going to be a little bit different. I am filming this a couple of days earlier than I usually would. You will be seeing this on Wednesday evening, so happy Wednesday. I hope you had a wonderful day. And if you are watching this, then tomorrow, Thursday, we will be having a watch along over on Katie's channel. I Would Rather Be Reading. We will be watching The Housemaid, but I will try and talk about that a little bit more at the end of today's WIP and Chat. The WIP and Chat today is going to be a little bit different than what y'all are used to. Usually I just do a little bit of a life update on the color, and then we kind of just go into what I'm reading, watching, listening to, things like that. Today, I actually have a topic to talk about. Something transpired over the weekend in the diamond painting community, and I want to talk about it. I want to put my 2 cents in. I know what I hate this word, but I know what the drama is that went down. I saw it unfold. I'm not going to be talking about any specific content creators, YouTubers, or businesses, small or large. I will not be doing that. I am just going to give my opinion on what happened and my thoughts on that, because my thoughts are different, and I think it's because of a certain factor in this little debacle. So let's go over really quick my accessories that I'm using. No accessories have really changed at all. So I'm just using my Bijou Bliss trays. I have this one. It is my large Drills and Chills. I guess I can turn it this way so it's the right way for you. Drills and Chills tray from 2025. And then I have my mini tray this was part of the Christmas collection in 2025. I'm hoping to order some more trays here in the very near future. So yeah, that's what we are using, just because they're the best size for the canvas that I am currently working on. So I have a color here. I'm going to pour that in, and we're going to start talking. So if you know what happened over the weekend, then you know what happened. But the long and short of it is that there was a content creator who did a post review. Now, post reviews are extremely common in the diamond painting space. And that basically a post review is just our thoughts on a diamond painting after we have completed it. So it is a review post doing the diamond painting, hence post review. So this creator gave a post review, and it was, in my opinion, a very honest post review. However, there were people in their comments section who completely, in my opinion, dogpiled this creator because they did not post review correctly. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. So there were people in the comments who said that they had a similar experience to this creator, and I am calling this person a creator because they have a YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel and you create content on YouTube or Instagram or wherever on a platform, I'm going to call you a creator. Now, I don't really love the connotation that comes with being a quote-unquote influencer. I feel like the influencer label, the influencer space has been really tainted by certain people and a certain type of person, a certain type of content creator. So I will not call all content creators influencers, but I will call all influencers content creators. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not going to refer to any of these people as influencers. I'm going to call them all content creators, unless specifically I know that someone in this story is in fact an influencer. Okay, so because there are diamond painting influencers, and these are the people who are sponsored by or they get free product from certain companies, and all you get from them in post reviews is how wonderful the company was and how perfect the canvas was. And this is where I'm having an issue, because up until this specific content creator did their post review, I'm not even going to disclose to y'all whether this is a woman or a man, because we do have diamond painting content creators of both genders, of all genders. And so I'm not even going to disclose to you like any kind of identity. Everyone in this story is going to be referred to as they, them, period, regardless of what their actual like pronouns are. And that is just for their autonomy and for their, I don't feel like they deserve to be dogpiled on any more than they already have been. So this content creator, until they made their post review saying their experience with a certain company, it is a small shop, and we're going to kind of talk about that as well, because that's where a lot of this controversy is coming, is that because it was a small shop, this content creator should have reached out to that small shop and given their feedback before posting their review. I don't really agree with that. And I'm going to explain in a moment why I don't agree with that. So anyway, this content creator, until they made their video, all I had ever seen were rave reviews about this small business, about the small shop. And while I do think that it's possible that a small shop has absolutely zero negative reviews, I also noticed that the only time I saw this specific company, this small shop, I'm not going to call it a company, because to me a company implies something like a diamond art club or a Dreamer Designs, something that is large. This is not a large company. This is a small shop. Okay, so this small shop, the only time I have ever seen them talked about is when they are being unboxed by people who get sneak peeks from this small shop. They clearly have some kind of relationship with this small shop, which is fine, but also, in my opinion, skews the pool, you know? And it skews it in such a way that now it's marketing. It's not an actual review on this shop, because what we're seeing are a bunch of, for this specific small shop, a bunch of influencers of this small shop singing the praises. Now, this content creator made a video, and I specifically went on my phone and I looked up what the title of their video was, because people are now coming out, larger content creators. This is what is going to really upset me. So this specific content creator that I'm talking about has around 2,000 subscribers. They are a bit larger than I am. And I have about 1.02 subscribers. Okay, so just for context, this content creator has around just over 2,000 subscribers, and The thumbnail, in my opinion, not super, I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could say it's clickbaity because it says like diamond painting post review, dot dot dot, disappointed with like a question mark and an exclamation point. And then their actual title of the video does imply that they were disappointed. I'm not going to tell you what the exact thing says because I don't want y'all to go find it. Basically, it says it implies that they were disappointed in the experience or maybe in the final product, whatever it is. But it implies that they were not super happy with the outcome of the diamond painting that they did, which is valid. And we are allowed to not be super happy with it. I'm going to give an example. I have had glue issues with every Diamond Art Club canvas that I have purchased from Christmas to now. I just ordered some more diamond paintings from Diamond Art Club. I enjoy Diamond Art Club. I like their rounds. I like their squares, but I have had issues. I have not, however, reached out to Diamond Art Club and said, hey, this is the 4th canvas that I have that has issues with the glue. Many people have been talking about issues with the Diamond Art Club glue, how it seems like there are spots where it's very slippery. It seems like there are spots where there's almost no tack at all. Like, this is a thing that I feel like at this point we know about Diamond Art Club, that there is some kind of an issue with the glue. People are talking about it. Now, I've seen certain people that I know are that I know work with Diamond Art Club. I don't always take their reviews to heart, and the reason is because they work with Diamond Art Club. And I'm not saying, and I know a few content creators who work with Diamond Art Club, but who also give very honest feedback. Now, when you are receiving things from a company for your honest review, I do believe that as a content creator, it is then your responsibility to reach out to the company prior to posting anything, because the company specifically, or the small shop, whatever, we'll say small shop in this regard, but the business that you're working with sent you things for an honest review. Therefore, even if you never post your honest review to your YouTube channel or your Instagram profile or wherever it is that you're supposed to be posting, you at least reach out to the company and give them the feedback, because they sent you product in order to have feedback. Where this deviates for me is if I purchase this stuff myself. So if I purchase something from a small shop, or I purchase something from a large company, I am not necessarily going to reach out to that company or that small shop simply because I had an issue with something. It would have to be a pretty glaring issue. Something like I didn't enjoy the experience I had with their square drills is not going to be enough for me to reach out to a company. The last time that I reached out to anyone, now mind you, I have not branched out yet in 2026. I will be after this diamond painting order comes through. Sometimes it's difficult as a content creator who does weekly WIP and chats. I have to make sure that I have diamond paintings. And if you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. I know that I have a lot of new people. I actually wanted to do tag questions this week. We'll do them next week. But for me personally as a content creator, it's been really hard to make sure that I have diamond paintings to work on, because in 2025, I worked through my entire stash, the rest of my stash, and I wasn't really able to replenish my stash. So my rule of thumb with diamond painting since I started in 2023 has always been that for every 2 kits I finish, I bring in another kit. And in 2025, I wasn't able to do that. So because I wasn't able to do that in 2025, it was basically just for every kit that I worked on, there was no kit, or for every 2 kits, there was no kit being replenished. So because of that, I'm now kind of playing catch up in trying to get diamond paintings to me as quickly as possible. So the 2 orders that I've done so far in 2025, because I did an order, I think in January, let me actually check. I don't want to lie to y'all. I am keeping track of all of this, and it will come up again in my quarterly review. But yeah, so I ordered in November of 2025, and then I didn't order again until January of 2026. So I ordered in January. I ordered 2 kits in January, and then I've ordered another 2 kits, plus a mini dazzles. I ordered actually 6 things in total, but 3 of those things are not for me. So for myself, in this last order, there was a coupon code for Valentine's Day, and I ordered, it was like a 20% off code. I kind of wish that I had waited until today when I'm filming this, because I'm filming this on President's Day and they have another coupon code, but it's like buy one get one 50% off, and I kind of wish I'd waited to do that, but I didn't know that they were gonna have a President's Day sale, so it is what it is. So I ordered myself 2 more kits, both squares this time because I haven't done a square in a long time, and a set of mini dazzles. So that kind of gives you an idea of like how often I'm having to order currently to try and replenish my stash. Eventually, I would like to get back to a point where for every 2 kits that I take out, I am bringing a new kit in. That is what I'm hoping to be able to do. But right now, I'm just kind of working with the budget that I have. So the last time that I reached out to a company, it was Diamond Art Club, because I've been working on Diamond Art Club kits, because Diamond Art Club, I get my kits within 3 to 5 days of shipment. So basically 3 to 5 days of me ordering them, I have my kits, so I know that they will come quickly. And as I get more kits under me, then I will start ordering from small businesses that may take a little bit longer, especially because right now a lot of small shops, because things are sent from China, a lot of small shops are not sending anything right now until March, and that is because of Chinese New Year. So I have to I could place the orders, but I'll be waiting, I think it's like 6 to 12 weeks for them to even ship. So I'm kind of just I have a running list of places that I want to order from. I have a place that I want to order from. I have a gift card to. And so I'm waiting for those shops to be back to shipping, just because if I order from them now and then I have to wait 6 to 12 weeks, this is not a shop problem. This is a me problem. I'll forget that I ordered anything, and I don't like doing that. And so because of that, I am choosing to wait. But anyway, the last time that I reached out to anyone to say that I had an issue was, and I talk about this in my post review, which someone could say was a quote unquote negative review, because when I make a post review, I talk about the negatives first, the things that I did not like about the kit, and then we finish out the video with things that I did like. And I had a clarity issue with my painting called From Santa, which was a Diamond Art Club Christmas kit that I bought for my child. I bought it for me to do for Ari, and there was a pretty bad clarity issue with the symbols. Now, when I first looked at this, like when I did the unboxing, in the unboxing, I said that the symbols looked really good. I was looking at like the middle of the canvas. The middle and the top of the canvas looked really good. But the symbols were very muddy at the from like the bottom up to the midpoint, and then after that it became clear again. So I did reach out to Diamond Art Club and I said, "Hey, I don't know if you can help me with this, but I'm having really like this canvas for some reason, like the symbols are not clear. It's almost like it didn't print all the way. I don't know if you can help me with that. I'm not necessarily asking for like a brand new canvas. I'm just trying to figure out like how we could rectify the issue." And I say this in my post review that when I reached out, they sent me a digital copy of the canvas and that rectified the issue. I was able to pull it up on my iPad in Google Drive, and I was able to look at it as a PDF and zoom in and see what the symbols were. Okay, so I was able to do that. However, I've had issues with I'm using Diamond Art Club as the example here because I know other people have had similar issues to what I'm talking about. This content creator did not make a post review about Diamond Art Club. They made a post review on a canvas from a small shop. And but I don't reach out to Diamond Art Club every time that I have a glue problem. If I did, I would be with their customer service so often. Like I would be online with customer service longer than it would take me to actually complete the painting. And people have said, for some reason, Diamond Art Club's glue is very inconsistent recently. We don't know why that is. It's been like in the last 6 months because I didn't have this issue with my Not Your Alice painting. I loved that painting. I had no glue issues with that painting. And that was a painting that I bought in 2024. For some reason, though, every kit that I've bought in 2025 into 2026, we've had glue problems. Now, people came into this creator's comment section and said there was someone who resorted to calling names. The people that were in the comment section talking about you should reach out to the company, you shouldn't have posted this without reaching out first, also admitted to knowing this shop owner personally. Like like right now, I'm having such glue issues with this canvas, y'all. This is what I mean. But I'm not going to reach out to Diamond Art Club about it because for some reason, just this patch of glue, I don't understand. I'm going to have to buy some Diamond Art Club adhesive, I think, which kind of sucks because like I don't want to have to add adhesive every time I use a Diamond Art Club canvas. It's like it has no tack. Like there's like right here in this, there's no glue. It's like there's no glue there at all. So I'm going to try to place it with my pretty placers and see if they will stick down, because the pretty placers are a little bit gentler. But like I'm so scared they're going to pop off because there's like no tack. Anyhow, they're sticking down when I place them with the pretty placers, so maybe that's something. Anywho, okay, so there was, I'm going to call them an influencer, and the reason is because I'm going to call them an influencer specifically for this shop. So there was someone that came into this content creator's space in their video and basically resorted to name calling. I did read the comment. I do know what it said. But resorted to calling names and saying that they should have reached out to the company owner. However, the company owner also commented on people's comments, like replied to people's comments on this video. But according to the content creator, because they made a follow-up video, they made a WIP in chat where they followed up and they talked about their experience with this. That the business owner never reached out. So I don't actually know that this content creator reaching out to the business owner would have actually done anything, if I'm real. Because if you saw the video and it upset you as the business owner, me as a business owner, I would have maybe sent an email or reached out. Most of us content creators have an email in our description, and if we don't, we have some way of you reaching out to us, Instagram, Discord, something. My issue here is that all of a sudden this content creator is being held to this standard of they should have reached out before giving a negative review. And I'm going to equate this to books, okay? Because I came into the YouTube space as a book content creator, a bookish content creator, and I still am one. I've just pivoted a little bit into other cozy hobbies. I've just pivoted a bit to be able to talk about more things than just books, because I enjoy talking about more things than just books. And also, I can't keep up with what the algorithm for book talk, or I'm sorry, for booktube wants you to keep up with. I would have to read way more books on average than I do. And I'm not going to burn myself out with trying to read as many books as possible. I did that in my first couple years of being on YouTube just to keep up with the algorithm specifically for the book space. I'm just going to pivot and we're going to talk about other things. And when I have books to talk about, we'll talk about them. And when I don't, we'll talk about other things. And that's okay. But we say this in the book community, that review spaces are for readers. They're not for authors. Now, I think it's a little bit different in the diamond painting or crafting communities because we are buying a lot of times from small shops. However, I'm going to equate this to a book that I read by an indie author that I didn't like, which has happened, right? I have friends that are authors, that are indie authors, which if you don't know what indie means, it's independent. So they've self-published most of the time, or there was a very small, like, independently run publisher, but most of them a lot of them self-publish. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't reach out to every independent author that I read a book from before I post a negative review. I don't do that. And here's why. Because first of all, I would be on my email for years. That's first. I read enough books in a year by indie authors that I would be doing nothing but emailing, okay? But it's also because, first of all, who has time for that? No one. But also because it's not my responsibility to do that. The times that I reach out to an author, an independent author or otherwise, and give my feedback directly to them is when I have an ARC of something. And an ARC is an advanced reader copy, or an ALC, which is an advanced listening copy. These are copies of audio books or ebooks, sometimes physical books, but they are either in print or they are in audio form. They are given to you pre-release so that you can read them and review them. It helps with hype. It also helps if the author needs to maybe fix something before the book comes out. These are unedited, or they're very loosely edited copies of books. They are not like the final copy of a book when you get an ARC. But I mean, if I'm like on a street team or something, which I have been in the past, I've also been a beta reader. I've also been an alpha reader. So these are all, I'm not going to go into what all of those things are, but essentially those are people that read books before books are brought out into the world for the public to consume them. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't reach out to every single author that I read and every indie author and say, hey, I didn't like your book and this is why I didn't like it. Please fix this. I don't do that. And I think that it's disingenuous to expect every content creator who is a diamond painter to reach out to every company. Now, I do think that as content creators, if we are sent things from companies, if we are sent things from small businesses, from large companies, it really doesn't matter. But if we're sent things for an honest review, then yeah, it's our responsibility before posting any review at all to go to that company or that small shop and say, hey, this is a problem for me. I don't know if other people have had this issue. It could just be a me issue, but I've noticed that there is a lot of gapping, or I've noticed that there is a true inconsistency in the drill quality, or I've noticed that there seems to be a glue problem, something like that. If you are purchasing the things yourself, okay, which from what I understand in this scenario, the content creator that made the post review purchased the canvases that, or the canvas, it was one canvas, the canvas that they were reviewing. They purchased that canvas themselves. It wasn't gifted to them. It wasn't sent to them by the company. And yet people are like, okay, but you should have reached out. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And there were people in the comment section dogpiling saying, oh, you're only going after this company because they're a small business. You don't go after larger companies and say how terrible their issues are. Even though I know, because I watched this content creator, that they do that. They have talked about issues with larger companies like Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club or whatever. They've talked about larger companies also having issues with different quality issues. But I don't think that it is our I don't think that as a content creator who diamond paints, right, and makes, and yes, I make diamond painting content, but I don't think that it's my responsibility to reach out to every single place. Now, maybe this content creator could have reached out because of the issues that they were having. Maybe there's an argument for they should have reached out simply because the issues that they were having with this canvas were pretty glaring issues, okay? And they did say that they had a round kit from the same company that they were going to try, and they were going to give that a chance, but that they just did not think that they would be ordering squares from this company any longer. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. That, in my opinion, is a valid criticism. Not everywhere that you order diamond paintings from are you going to like their square drills. Not everywhere that you order from are you going to like their round drills. There are actually a lot of, especially smaller companies or smaller businesses that do resin round drills, but they do acrylic square drills. And I don't remember if this company did that or not. To be honest, this company is on my list of companies to try, which again is part of the reason that I'm not going to say what the name of it is, because I would like to try the company out myself. But some of the issues that this content creator said that they had, and you could see it in their video that they had these issues, I personally probably would have reached out to the company about, but that doesn't make it my responsibility to do so. So I hope that you understand what I mean by this. What I mean is, yeah, there were some pretty glaring issues with the canvas that they worked on. Okay? Um and people wanted to come in the comments and say, okay, well, you said in your post review that you're not always the best, the most perfect placer when it comes to square drills. I am also not always the most perfect placer when it comes to square drills. Now, I tend to not multi-place my squares. I tend to single place them. I actually tend to single place a lot with rounds as well, but I don't tend to multi-place my squares. This content creator literally said, yeah, I did this section how I would normally place my square drills, which is kind of a back and forth of, trying to be really careful and single place, and then also multi-placing where I can, okay? And then said, but in this section, because I was trying to figure out if it was a me problem or a canvas problem, I made an actual concerted effort to place as perfectly as possible. Now, no one is going to place squares perfectly. No one is going to place every diamond 100% perfectly, okay? And you're not going to tell me that you are. Now, there are people that create extremely straight lines. I'm not saying that there aren't. I actually am pretty good at creating really straight lines with round drills. I am. But that does not mean that every round drill that I lay down is perfectly placed. Okay? So there's that. But this content creator said that they made a real effort in a couple of sections to place drills as neatly as possible because they were trying to figure out if it was a them problem. I do the same thing. If I notice that there's a lot of gapping with my squares, I'll be like, okay, maybe I'm not placing these as perfectly or as neatly as I think that I am. Let me try just single placing for a row or two and see if that rectifies the issue, because then I will know that the gapping is my problem, not necessarily a canvas problem. But I think that it is really disingenuous and really rich to say that you can't give an honest review and honest feedback if you don't reach out to the company prior to giving a quote-unquote negative review. And this content creator did share things, which makes me wonder if some of these people speaking out about this didn't actually watch the full video. Even people that are commenting in the comments, I'm not sure that they actually watched the entire video. It seems to me like a lot of people heard about it through the grapevine or had it sent to them and asked for their opinion, which, by the way, I was not asked for my opinion. I'm just giving it because it's what I do, okay? Sometimes I give unsolicited opinions about things that I'm very passionate about. Is this having a glue issue too? I do not understand. Sometimes I do, because I have a channel and I'm allowed to talk about things if I feel passionate about them, and I feel passionate about this. So some people had said, I feel like there were people that commented on this video in the comment sections and didn't actually watch the full video. They saw the pieces that they didn't like and they commented on that, and they didn't watch any further than that. And there were a few different content creators that I watched that commented on this video. And one of them said, I'm really sorry that you had such a negative experience. I've never had a negative experience with this company, but it makes me sad that you did. That is an okay comment to give. But then there was another creator who went in and was calling people pathetic, was saying that they didn't post review correctly. Why didn't you do it this way? You shouldn't have done it that way. That's not the way. I'm personal friends with this person, was also in this specific comment, and here's what I'm going to tell you. That's okay. It's okay for you to have friends in the diamond painting space. I have friends in the bookish space. I have friends in the, creative space, the diamond painting space, the crafting space, whatever. But what's not okay is to decide that because this person is your friend that they can do no wrong. That's not the vibe. Okay? Now you could have said, "Hey, I'm really sorry." There were quite a few comments that said, "Hey, we're really sorry that, it sucks that you had, a not so great experience. Our advice to you is to reach out to this creator, or is to reach out to the shop owner, because they are really nice. They might want to help rectify." I think someone commented and said that, like, something about the specific canvas that this post review was made on had been posted in like a Facebook group or something, and that there seemed to be a mix up with some of the canvases. So maybe reach out and see if maybe your canvas was one that was in, this mix up. Those are okay comments. It's not okay, though, to dogpile on someone and say you didn't post review correctly and you should have done it this way. That's not okay. That's not a way to get people to give honest feedback. And honestly, in the diamond painting space, I've noticed this. People are almost scared to give real feedback, especially about companies or small businesses or small shops or whatever that seem to have like a good following, or a lot of people in the community that are promoting them. People are almost deterred from giving honest feedback. Not me. I will always give honest feedback. I really do not care. And there are content creators that have come out and said, well, if you should watch what you say, because if you're too honest, or you come off as being too negative, then other companies or small shops might not want to work with you. Okay. Here's how I feel. Okay, because I have had small shops. In 2017, from 2017 to 2020, I had, or 20, I'm sorry, not 2017, 2019 to 2021. Sorry. So 2019 to 2021, I ran a small business on Etsy. It was a digital planner shop. I did sell quite a few digital planners and sticker packs. And eventually I decided to pivot. I thought that other people did it a little bit better, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to find a different creative space to be in. I could, I guess, go back to doing it. I have had people ask if I would, and I don't know. Maybe, I guess, like, if enough people had interest in my digital planners, I tend to make memory style planners. I don't tend to make ones that would work for, like, weekly planning. I have a system that I like that I purchased from a different Etsy shop, so I don't tend to delve into that. But when I had an Etsy shop, I was making memory planners, and I was also making custom planners. So if people asked for a custom, then I would make you whatever you wanted. As far as that went, we would go over your vision and we would make the planners. So yeah, I've had a small shop, and I've had people give negative, quote unquote, negative reviews where they've said, this wasn't great, or whatever. And then I changed what I did. Now, those people, some of them gave negative reviews via YouTube. Some of them gave negative reviews via Instagram. I never had like a street team. I did do some what we would call product swaps with other small shops. So like a small digital planner shop would send me some stickers or a planner or something, and I would send stickers or a planner in return, and we would do reviews on each other's product. I did do that for a little while in like 2020. And I could have forgotten this one tray. Okay. And that worked really well to promote things in the planner space for people to find me and buy things and order things. But at the end of the day, not everyone is going to like your product. I think that we need to have a thick enough skin if we're going to be producing things and selling them. We have to have a thick enough skin to understand that not everything is going to be for everyone. That's first. I also think that it's a weird fear-mongery thing to tell people that if they give negative feedback, that's what I'm going to call it. I don't even think it's negative feedback. I think that it's criticism, sure. I don't necessarily think that it's quote-unquote negative feedback, especially if you also talk about the things that you liked. And this content creator did that. They talked about the things that they didn't like about the canvas, and they talked about the things that they did like about, gosh, this spot has such bad glue issues, about the canvas. To me, that's a well-rounded review. That is a real review from a real person, not a review from someone who thinks they're going to get something for giving a stellar review. They had real thoughts and feelings, and they shared their real thoughts and feelings. But to tell people, hey, if you don't watch exactly what you say, then you might not get asked. You might have trouble if you decide to run an event, finding sponsors, or you might have issues with people wanting you to promote their stuff. Okay. I'm always going to give an honest review. Always. Period. Whether I reach out to the company or not, I'm going to say how I feel about my experience. And here's the thing. It seems that people want us to believe that if we reach out to the company, that somehow that will magically change the experience that we had. I will never say anything in a post review. Ooh, whoops, sorry, friends. I will never say anything in a post review or in a video or in a WIP and chat or anywhere that I wouldn't say if that person was sitting across the table from me. That's first. Okay? I'm not here to dogpile on people, but I'm also not here to only share negative things. Even when you have a not so great review of a company, or you have not so great things to share about an experience that you had, usually you can find one or two fun things. So this content creator said, the something with the grid was really off. I don't know what that is, but there was a lot of gapping. I was able to move whole rows of diamonds in order to add another diamond, which is a problem. But I really liked the artwork, and I really thought that ultimately, like, if these issues hadn't been here, it would have come out super cute. That's still sharing positivity with the negative. But I think that it's disingenuous to think that we're going to only have positive experiences. There are content creators, there are post reviews that I do not watch by certain content creators, because I know that all they're going to do in their post review is praise this company over and over and over again, even if we know that this company or small shop or whatever has issues with, say, glue or extreme gapping or loose grid or whatever. Okay? We know as consumers of YouTube content that some of these companies have issues. Some of these small shops have issues. And I think that it's disingenuous to be like, well, don't overshare about your negative or your not so great experience because the company might not want to work with you. Okay, well, here's the thing. As a person who makes content, as a diamond painter, I don't want to work with a company that cannot take feedback. Whether that is a small company, like a small shop, or that is a large company. It doesn't matter. I might still buy from them, but I don't want to work with them. I don't want to be expected to say that their product was 100% wonderful just simply because I'm hoping that they'll work with me. I'm not going to change the way that I do reviews or the way that I talk about issues with things just because the company reaches out and wants to work with me. Now, I will message the company first with my feedback, sure. If they reach out and say that they want to work with me, because as a responsible content creator, that's my job. But if I'm purchasing this stuff, it would have to be like more than just like, hey, for some reason the grid is off on this, for me to like reach out and be like, hey, before I post a negative review, no. Now, I will reach out to new companies. I actually plan to do this and see if there's anything they want me to share about their company when I do like an initial unboxing. But I will also, in those same emails, let the company or small business know that I'm going to give an honest review, that I spent my money on these canvases. So I'm going to give an honest review. That could be negative, that could be positive. Now, my rule of thumb for post reviews, me personally, I'm not saying that anyone else has to do it this way. For me personally, my rule of thumb for post reviews is that for every one negative, I find two positive. And the reason I do this is because I do ultimately want my channel to be a positive space. I do. I want it to be a positive space. But I also want it to be a real space. I also want it to be an authentic space. So I'm not going to not talk about the negative things. I'm not. But I'm also not going to tell you that I'm going to reach out every single time that there is something I don't like about a canvas or a product or whatever. Now, obviously, I have done reviews on things like putty, and I've said, this putty is really soft. Okay? I've said that. I have soft putties, and I also have really hard, like harder putties. And I said, well, this putty is really soft, so I'll have to only use this one in the winter because where I live in the winter, it is drier, it is cold. In the summertime, it is humid and hot. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to use this softer putty in the winter, in the summer where I live, because even if I put it in the fridge, even if I'm sitting in the air conditioner, as it warms up around me, it will start to get too sticky. So I have putty that I only use in the summertime. Randa's is my summer putty, and my Pure Bliss Wax Co. putty is what I use in the winter, because Pure Bliss Wax Co. is a softer putty, and I love it. I do. I love Pure Bliss Wax Co. It won't be for everyone, but I personally really love it. But it is a softer putty, so I've used it all winter, and it's worked for me really well all winter. But come summertime, it is going to be melty. Like, I'm going to have to put it in a Ziploc bag in the fridge and just leave it in the fridge all summer. Like, I probably won't be able to use it. We do have, or I will be getting an air conditioner in my room. Currently, the one that I had in here is in my dad's room. So, because his broke last summer, like towards the end of the summer. But I will have to get a new window unit for my room. And while, yeah, we will keep it chilly in here because my philosophy is put on a hoodie if you're cold. Even in the summertime, I will just put a hoodie on, like when I'm in the room. Like, I will keep the air conditioner going and keep it cold in here, or relatively cool in here. and then just wear a hoodie if I'm cold. That's what I do anyway. I do keep the heat on in the winter in here though, because it will get really cold if I don't. Then I will go ahead and see if I can use the Pure Bliss Wax coat with the AC on. But if I can't, then it will literally just stay in the fridge during the summer, and then once it starts to cool off again, I will take it out of the fridge and I will use it in the wintertime. It's really not a big deal. Like, I know a lot of people that have those things, but I have had negative experiences with wax. I don't like wax, and I've tried different waxes. I've tried hard waxes. I've tried soft waxes. I have tried medium-ish waxes. I've tried like the, the wax that comes like in a toolkit, like with a diamond painting, like the heart waxes. I've tried the like waxy putty alternative thing that Diamond Art Club sends for their twist and pick pens. I don't like wax. I don't. So I don't tend to buy wax. I just don't. Now, I will buy putty from wax companies because a lot of wax companies do putty. I will try just about any putty. But when it comes to a wax alternative, I use scented glue dots from Oh Snap Crafters Cafe. Now, when I first tried using them, I was a little... I didn't love them when I first started using them because they do start out extremely sticky. And you kind of have to dirty them up. So you have to kind of use them for a little while or wipe them. You can like wipe the end of your pen like on your pants. I don't like doing that because I find it almost dirties it too fast if I do that. But there was a learning curve to me using the scented glue dots, and a lot of people swear by like just regular like mini glue dots. I like this scent. That's really why I buy them the way that I do, is because I like my waxes and putties and alternatives to be scented. It's just, it adds fun to the craft for me. If that doesn't matter to you, then yeah, of course you could use just like a regular glue dot. But I like the fact, like I like the scent of it all, honestly. But when I figured out that I didn't like wax, I did give reviews on different wax brands. I think I have 4 different wax brands that I have purchased from. And I was like, oh yeah, this wax is okay, but still not really my favorite. Still gonna continue trying new wax because I have like I said, I have hard waxes, I have soft waxes, I've bought wax bricks. Like, I'm just not a wax person. And I wish that I was, because I do see people like using wax a lot. And I do think that there are waxes that are fun, but I kind of just look at the brands, the companies, the small shops that I'm like, okay, this small shop, people love their wax. Do they have putty? Because I will try their putty instead. I am a putty girl. I love putty, but not everyone loves putty. Just like I don't love wax. So that is kind of where I'm at with that. I hope that this video made sense. It probably didn't. I probably rambled, but it's fine. At the end of the day, I don't think that as just customers, whether we have a platform or not, I don't think it's our job or our responsibility necessarily to reach out to every company that we purchase from and give them feedback. I don't think, no. Now, as people who are purchasing things, I will do this. We can go on their websites and we can leave them reviews. I have done that. But I don't think that it is my responsibility, just because I am a content creator, to not only spend my own money on the things, but then to now I have the responsibility, because I spent my money on their thing and I'm going to talk about it on my YouTube channel. Now I have the responsibility to reach out to them if I have an issue, like with every issue that I have. No, because that's why websites and Etsy and things like that have review spaces. I'll write a review. I write reviews about a lot of things. And the reason I do that is because I think that it is a good idea to do so. In fact, I'm going to go try to write a review on Damaged. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though, because it is a discontinued kit, so I don't know, and I can't even find it like on the website anymore. Like it said final edition when I ordered it. So if I can write a review on it, I will. When I finish Makeup Routine, I will go write a review on that one on the Diamond Art Club website. I think that is, as consumers, that is our responsibility, sure, because we, even as people that just buy things, right, every day, diamond painters, we have the option to write reviews. I will write reviews, but I'm not going to send an email to every company and say, hey, I really didn't like this and this and this about your product. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that is my responsibility as a customer, just because I happen to also create content. I just don't think that that's my responsibility. Now, again, go write reviews if that is what you want to do, if you want to give feedback. But I just don't feel like I need to send in a personalized email before posting a post review about my experience. So that's all that I really have for today. We got most of this section completed, which is great, because I'm going to finish this section and then move on to this section. Basically, I'm doing these two sections and then these two sections up here, which you can't see because my camera's on top of it. And then I'm going to flip this around upside down, and we're going to try to finish this. I would like to get it done before Wednesday. Like I said, Thursday morning at the absolute latest, but I would like everything to be kitted down and for my storage to be empty by the time that new kits come, so that I can kit up new kits. That would be honestly wonderful. So that's all that I really have for this whip and chat. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It's free and it really helps me in the algorithm. Also, let me know how you feel about this topic, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to call names. We're not going to call out content creators or specific companies or small shops on this. If I see that in the comments, I will delete the comment, just simply because I was very careful about who I talked about, how I talked about it, and everything. So I need y'all to do the same. And yeah, this is a positive space. It is also, in my opinion, a space where we should be able to talk about things without being afraid that that someone is going to be, I don't know, that we're going to be attacked in the comments for our opinion. I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that. I think that it's honestly ridiculous to feel that way, or to make people feel like they are going to be attacked or negatively impacted because of their view on something. I think that's crazy. So yeah, but that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. If you don't really have anything